$100 million. Gone. Not stolen, not lost in crypto, not seized by the government. Given away from one man's personal bank account. No crowdfunding, no donations, no corporate sponsorship, just one decision. And here's the crazy part. It didn't make him poorer. It created 21,000 businesses, over 1.5 million jobs, and more than $4.2 billion in revenue across Africa. Who gives away $100 million of their own money and somehow becomes even more powerful? His name is Tony Elumelu. And his story doesn't start in a boardroom. It starts with photocopiers. This is how one Nigerian went from selling copiers to changing an entire continent. And stay till the end to know why Nigerians love the Elumelu family. Tony Elumelu wasn't born rich. He wasn't born into politics. He came from nothing. Born on March 22, 1963, in Jos, Plateau State. His parents? Regular people? No trust fund, no connections. He studied economics at Ambrose Alley University, got his bachelor's degree, then earned a master's in economics from the University of Lagos. After graduation, he did his mandatory national service at Union Bank, and when that was done, he became a copier salesman. But at 27, everything changed. Someone took a chance on him and made him branch manager at All States Trust Bank. A lot of people doubted him. They said he was too young, too inexperienced, but within a year, he turned that branch around and proved every single doubter wrong. Now here's where Tony gets bold. In 1997, he wasn't satisfied being a branch manager anymore. So what did he do? He gathered a small group of investors and took over a failing bank called Crystal Bank. They renamed it Standard Trust Bank. And at 34 years old, Tony Elumelu became one of the youngest bank CEOs in Nigeria. People started calling him and his crew the cowboys of banking because of how bold the move was. Within a few years, he made Standard Trust Bank profitable, but that was just the warm-up. In 2005, Tony did something that changed Nigerian banking forever. He led the merger and acquisition of United Bank for Africa, UBA. At the time, UBA was Nigeria's third largest bank. But here's the crazy part. In just 5 years, Tony transformed UBA from a single country bank into a pan-African powerhouse, operating in 19 countries with over 7 million customers. Today, UBA operates in 20 African countries, plus the United Kingdom, France, and the United States. Think about that. It's the only African bank with a commercial presence in America. UBA now serves over 35 million customers worldwide. Tony served as the boss until 2010, and now he chairs the board. In 2010, Tony founded Heirs Holdings. This is basically his investment company, and it's massive. We're talking financial services, power generation, oil and gas, real estate, hospitality, and agribusiness. Through Heirs Holdings, he controls Transcorp, which is Nigeria's largest listed conglomerate. That includes Transcorp Power, one of Nigeria's biggest electricity producers, and the famous Transcorp Hilton in Abuja. Then in 2021, Tony made another huge move. His company, Heirs Oil and Gas, secured a 45% stake in OML-17, an oil block worth over $1 billion. And get this, OML-17 produces 50,000 barrels of oil every single day. That makes it one of the largest oil assets run by an indigenous African company. All right, let's talk numbers now. Tony Elumelu is worth over $2 billion. Where does all that money come from? The biggest chunk? His oil and gas company, Heirs Energies. So yeah, most of his wealth is tied up in oil. He also owns about 7.5% of UBA. That stake is worth around $64 million. Then there's Transcorp, where he controls about 36% of the company. That's worth around $125 million. Add in his real estate, insurance companies, hotels, and cash in the bank, and you've got yourself a self-made billionaire. Oh, and by the way, Tony married his wife Owl In 1993, she's a medical doctor and runs healthcare investments through Heirs Holdings. Together they have 7 children. So yeah, big family, bigger empire. Now here's what makes Tony different from other billionaires. He created something called Africapitalism. Sounds fancy, but it's actually pretty simple. The idea is this: African private businesses have the power to transform Africa through long-term investments that create both profit and social good. In 2010, Tony founded the Tony Elumelu Foundation. The whole purpose? Empower young African entrepreneurs, give them the tools, training, and money to build businesses. Then, in 2015, he made an announcement that shocked everyone. He committed $100 million of his own money to fund 10,000 African entrepreneurs over 10 years. $100 million from his own pocket. Since 2015, the Tony Elumelu Foundation has done something incredible. They've given over 20.5 million young Africans access to free business training through their online platform called TEF Connect. But more importantly, they've given direct cash funding to over 21,000 young entrepreneurs across Africa. They've collectively created over 1.5 million jobs, direct jobs, indirect jobs, real employment. And here's another thing: women make up 46% of the entrepreneurs they've funded. That's the highest female participation rate of any entrepreneurship program this size in the world. So how does the program actually work? It's pretty straightforward. If you're selected, you get $5,000 in seed capital. That's yours to keep. You also get 12 weeks of intensive business training, access to world-class mentors, and you join the largest entrepreneurship network in Africa. And they're not stopping. The foundation has partnered with the United Nations to train, mentor, and fund 100,000 entrepreneurs over 10 years. The goal? Generate millions of new jobs and contribute at least $10 billion in new revenue across Africa. And it's not just Tony funding this anymore. The foundation has partnerships with massive organizations. We're talking about the European Union, the United Nations, the International Committee of the Red Cross, the US government, the African Development Bank, and Google. In 2019, the UN Development Program partnered with TEF to support 100,000 young entrepreneurs over 10 years. These are global institutions saying Tony Elumelu's model works. We're in. Tony's been honored by everyone. In 2003, Nigeria gave him the title Member of the Order of the Federal Republic. In 2012, Commander of the Order of the Niger. In 2022, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. In 2018, the President of France gave him the Legion of Honor. And in 2022, Time magazine put him on their list of the 100 most influential people in the world. Every single year, thousands of young Nigerians apply to the Tony Elumelu Foundation, hoping to get that $5,000 seed capital, and 21,000 of them have actually received it. Most wealthy Africans, they take their money and invest abroad. They buy properties in London, Dubai, New York. But Tony Elumelu, he's investing in Nigeria. He's investing in Africa. He's building banks, power plants, and oil companies. He's funding the next generation of entrepreneurs. Today, Tony Elumelu is the founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation, Heirs Holdings, and Transcorp. Through these companies, he controls businesses in banking, oil and gas, insurance, hotels, and real estate across 20 African countries. UBA employs thousands of people directly. Transcorp Power keeps the lights on for millions of Nigerians. Heirs Energies operates one of Nigeria's most productive oil fields. The Elumelu Empire touches every single part of Nigeria's economy. And his wife, Dr. Awele Elumelu, runs the healthcare side of things. Together, they're raising 7 kids and building a legacy that goes way beyond just their family. The Elumelu family doesn't just pile up money. They transform lives. They create opportunities. They prove that when African billionaires invest in African people, everyone wins. That's why Nigerians don't just respect the Elumelu family, they absolutely adore them. Because while most wealthy people forget where they came from, Tony Elumelu remembered, and he's making damn sure the next generation gets their shot too.